Sam, yet another win at the weekend. This squad, how different is the levels of confidence that you see within the squad compared to what it was just 6 or 7 weeks ago when you first took over?
Yeah, I think probably completely different, to be quite honest. I think a little bit of the way that we've been with them in terms of trying to take that fear factor away a little bit and give them the opportunity to go and express themselves. Said to yourselves previously, we tried to say to them, don't be afraid to make mistakes, because if they're going onto a pitch and they've got that mentality of being worried about what could go wrong, they're never going to have that confidence or that belief to go and do the things that they've probably done as a little kid playing on a park. They've been brought through at whatever level and they've had an opportunity to express themselves, and we kind of still want that to be the same way, and just say to them, look, what's the worst thing that could happen? There's going to be times this season where we're going to lose a game. There's going to be times where one of us is going to make a mistake, but I'm not going to kill them for that. The one thing that I will do if we do make a mistake is keep working with them every day to try and make sure that doesn't happen again, and if it does, then we keep working and try and put it right, you know. Well, this is kind of where we've gone with it, the way that we believe it should be. Over a number of years being involved as a player and a coach and watching other people work and watching them and taking on board what I thought would be, and not just me, Stuart and Ian are exactly the same in terms of if this opportunity did arise, this is the way that we think that people should be treated as a person, because we expect that in return. And sometimes players do get frustrated, sometimes we all get angry at times. But the one thing I try to do, and Stuart is exactly the same, is try and take the emotion away in terms of the anger and seeing things that are happening in the game, because you can't affect it on the touchline. You can work with them all week and try and do the things that you think you need to do. But on a Saturday at 3 o'clock, they go onto the pitch and they're the ones who are fortunate, because they're the ones that have to go and try and do what we've worked on. And as I say, there's going to be times where we make mistakes, there's going to be times where we lose a game. Hopefully that doesn't happen very often. And it's how we learn from that. And over the last, what are we now, 9-10 weeks, the players have looked like they're full of themselves, which is really important. That's what we wanted.
But there's only so much you can do.
Yeah.
The trust and the belief, the confidence within the players.
Yeah.
Nothing can be winning to instill that, can it?
Well, that's it. That's the be all and end all. You know, as everyone's said it over the years, you know, winning games breeds confidence, breeds belief in terms of what we're trying to do with them. So they're starting to buy into it now, because they're starting to see the rewards on the pitch, because we're on a nice little run. I think I've said before that we still think that there's a hell of a lot of things we can get better at with and without the ball. In transition when we lose it, in the reactions when we have lost it, in transition when we win it back, to actually breaking forward to try and create chances. The good thing for us, and I will say it again, is that we've got a lot of flexibility in terms of we can go with pace, we can go with technical players, we can go with big players and be solid as a back five, we can go with 2 big lads up front if we wanted to do that. And I think probably one of the key things that we've noticed is there's so many different styles in terms of what we come up against every week, and we can change. We can change to anything that we think that we need to do.
So this week you got Telford. What do you make of their season so far?
Started off really well, and they've had 2 or 3 games now where they've probably not had the results that they wanted. Got some decent players, got a decent squad. It's going to be a tough game. I know they got beat last week. They play a couple of really interesting formations that we've been watching and trying to think about ways that we can cause them problems like we try to do every week. We're expecting a tough game again, which is how it should be, and we know this could be a really important week with Telford, with Spennymoor and with Bradford Park Avenue. But first and foremost, we want to try and get through this game and come away with a really good result.
Yeah, you're playing 3 teams in the space of 7 days, or all just above you or just around you in the table. Yeah,
we're looking forward to it. You know, we've worked really hard over the last 10 weeks to get to this point now where we think if we can get through this week and have 2 or 3 really strong results again, then it puts us in a really good position then. You know, I've said before about we've got a big squad. We've changed the squad round, we've changed the team round, we've changed the bench, so hopefully, touch wood, injury wise we're okay. Still got the same thoughts in terms of keeping it fresh, keeping that hunger there in terms of I need to impress to stay in the team, and that's what we've done so far, and we'll continue to do that. You know, it's not about one individual, it's about us collectively as a group trying to win every football match we're involved in.
And apart from the Kidderminster game, were these 3 games the biggest tests both for this squad and for you since you came in, since you took over?
Yeah,
3 games.
Yeah, I think if you look at obviously where the teams are in the league, we're playing 3 teams now that are a little bit above us. They're not games that we think we're going into there that we're going to fear it. You know, we've seen things and we've watched things where we think. I think probably the biggest thing that we feel is if we're at it and we can play like we're capable of, we'll give anyone a really, really good game. And even the Kidderminster one, I'll go back to that, I watched it back 2 or 3 times, and there's times in the game where we cause them a hell of a lot of problems. On another day, we take the chances that we had. Could be a different game. I know obviously in the end the game got away with us and we lost our way a little bit in terms of because we're 2-3 goals down, and the goals when we conceded the goals, that was a killer. But we've learnt a lot since then and we've improved since then. And there's been times where last 2 games where we've probably not been, well, I thought in large spells of the game on Saturday we played some really good stuff. But if you go back to the Southport one, though we weren't at our best in terms of with the ball, but we dug in and we fought and we scrapped. And we did that again on Saturday when we had spells in the game where they were on top, we fought, we threw his bodies in the line, Russ Penn did it twice, Hamza had one, Adam makes a good save. So it's not just one person, it's everyone collectively trying to give everything that they can to make sure that we get results.
And you mentioned just a minute ago, we've seen it on the pitch about you changing your team, you're not trying to make those hard decisions.
Yeah.
With the 3 games in a week, how far ahead are you already looking, and you sort of think in the back of your mind, well, I want that player for that game, so maybe I'll give him a rest for this one?
Yeah, we've already done that.
So it's not just looking ahead to this next game, it's the whole week?
Yeah, we've already done that. We've got a plan for, barring injury, you know, you can't dictate that, but we've got a plan already in terms of what can get us through the 3 games. We've not really watched that much of Bradford Park Avenue yet. We've spent a lot of time watching this one on Saturday. We've spent a little bit of time watching little bits of Spennymoor and trying to find the balance between the 2 games, the 3 games, and thinking, right, how does this fit into this one, and then how does that fit into that one in terms of the style. If we get the style of play right, we think we can cause every team a problem. And it's just, the good thing is for us, we've got personnel where we can change it to suit a different way. So, and this is the thinking behind it. This is what I thought before this happened and I took over as caretaker. I was fortunate because I was watching the players, and even though I was taking the under-19s, I'm not stupid, and I weren't doing it in terms of looking at it thinking what could happen. I'm doing it because I love football, so I watch players. Every game before it actually happened, I used to sit in the stand with my notepad taking notes, because no matter what level it's at, there's always an opportunity to learn something, whether that's top level, whether that's going out to watch my son play for Hull City's under-15s every Sunday. You know, they played Notts Forest the other week, and the formation that they played, I've never seen it before. So I'm stood there on the side of the pitch as a dad taking notes, and all the parents are probably thinking, what the hell is this guy doing? But I love football, you know, and I want to get really good at doing this. And I've learnt a lot over the years, but there's always an opportunity to learn something new. And that's kind of where we are with it.
How have the guys who were maybe doubtful before last week, the Joe Tates, the Hamzas, how have they all pulled through this week?
Yeah, we've been fine. We've not really, at this moment in time, the only ones, Wes York, he got a nasty bite actually on his leg, so we're hoping that's going to be okay, because he's a really important member of the group as well. He gives us something probably completely different to what everyone else that we've got. But apart from that, I think that's pretty much it. I've not spoke to Ian yet this morning just to go through everyone for training today, but hopefully we'll be okay for Saturday, and then obviously we have to take it from there.
Great, that'll do for me, thank you.
Yeah. Can I ask you about the cup draw, Sam? What do you make of that?
Sorry, I completely forgot about that. I'll start again. Yeah, cup draw, sorry. Swindon Town away, what did you make of that?
Probably could have been better in terms of some of the teams that are in there, where you're thinking from a revenue point of view, the Sunderlands, the Bradfords, there's some big teams in there in terms of that side of it. There's also games in there where you think if you get someone at home like we did with St Ives and Ashton, where you're thinking this is a really good opportunity if we're right, where we can get through again and bring the revenue in that way. But it's a tough one, but it's one that we're capable of going there and getting a result from as well. I think I had a little look the other day, they've been a little bit up and down in the league, so they're in a position where from probably their point of view, they want to be better in terms of where they are and the consistency levels in terms of results. So it's something that we can go and look forward to. I don't really see it as a day out for us. If it's a day out, I'm not going. There's no point in me getting even going on the bus, because that's not the way football is. We're going in there. We'll do our homework like we have done in every team we've played in our league, and we'll be going there to get a good result. If that means it's a draw and we get them back at home, if we can go on there and put a really good performance and win the game, brilliant. But it's one that everyone's going to look forward to. But we've got some work to do before that in terms of the games that we've got coming up. Make sure we get some good results in them first before that comes, and then we can be ready for that one.
Have you had to talk to the players about that, make sure it's not going to become a distraction?
Not yet. We just spoke briefly yesterday. Obviously it was Monday night when we seen the draw, so we had a little... We always have a meeting pretty much most days. They're probably sick of hearing me a little bit, but we had just a quick chat, and some of them were saying pretty much what we've said now. But that's in the back of our mind, really. That's quite a way off in terms of where we are and where we need to get to that point. So, as I say, if we can get three good results, before we play them, brilliant. The confidence levels will be even higher than what they are now.
I've seen a couple of people mention on social media that it's almost written in the stars that there's going to be one final big FA Cup moment at Bootham Crescent, and obviously if you get the draw, you could maybe get that in a replay. Well,
it'd be great that. I think little things like that, fans look out for things like that, and in the back of their mind they see things that way. If that's the way that it goes and we get them back at home and can turn them over there, brilliant, but we'll be going to do that away, so they might have to wait till the next round hopefully before that happens.
Brilliant, thank you. Sorry, Dave.
So sent Harry Thompson out on loan again, Sam. Josh Rogerson as well, first year pro. How close are those two? What do they need to do to get involved?
I think this is really important. We have the under-19s games, but you can't beat that competitive. The games have been competitive, I'm not saying that, but going and actually experience men's football and lads who are probably playing on a Saturday or a Tuesday to try and pick up 50 quid bonus, or because it's really important to them. They need to experience that environment, and they need to realise some of the, like obviously Harry's gone to Billingham. Well, there's a big difference in terms of the infrastructure, the club, the training ground. He needs to go there and think, right, how much do I actually want to be a York City player, because you'll do very well to get better than what we've got in terms of the ground, the training ground, what's coming next year, the way that the players get looked after. This is not Conference North level, the things that go off here. This is League 1, League 2, if not Championship standard in terms of what we've got. And they have to realise, well, as I say, how much do they really want it? Well, we'll find out.
And Josh Rogerson, would you look to get him back?
Same thing, I think that's important from both. The under-19s game are great, and you can work on different things without that 3 points being necessarily the most important thing, and that was good for me as a coach, because I could try things. If it didn't work, rip it up and start again and think about something different. So that helped my development, and it also helps the development of them as players as well. You know, young players make mistakes, learn from it. As I say, same with the first team at times. We've got a lot of young players. Even the older ones are going to make mistakes. Learn, do something different, try and get better. Or it's up to me as a coach or whoever's working with them to try and develop and improve. And this will be the same when they go out on loan. They're going to make mistakes, they're going to experience things they've never seen before in terms of playing against big lads who've probably played at them levels for blooming 15 years. You know, how are you going to go and deal with that? If you can't deal with that, you're no good to me. So we'll see. We'll see, and we'll make sure we've watched them, make sure we'll keep in contact with them to make sure that they're alright and there's no issues or anything. But the big thing is, if they do take it on board and things go well, there's always that opportunity to come back here and progress, because, as I've said all along, if I get the opportunity to put young players in, i.e. Fergus, i.e. Nathan, I'll put them in.